Right. What's that? That's the cue for the stream. Here we go then. Welcome to Retro Racing for the Spanish Grand Prix, and we're in for an incredible race here in the Barcelona circuit. Now, you saw GP2 earlier, which was an immense battle between myself, Max, in the Tyrrells, as well as the Ferrari of what's his name, Lewis. So it was really a battle of Ford versus Ferrari, just Ford Tyrrell instead of just Ford on its own. But yeah, it was an incredible race, an incredible battle, and it was just poetry. So let's see what the Tier 1 boys can do in this race. Maguire from Tier 2 is in here. And I think he's the only one from Tier 2. We have Yusuf back on the grid with Kian, with Cameron, with Kai, with GC and Phoenix, and James, and HF. But we do have some new drivers on the grid this season, such as when it loads. There we go. Well, the names. Here we go. So we have Jambo, who's the debutant. We have Bella's. No, Bells. Just Bells. We have Snapchick Fixer in 11th, who's also a debutant. And that's it. I thought there was another one, but nope. Not another one. So yeah, this is going to be mental. Also, you'll see me looking at my phone during the stream as well to see if anything comes through on the communications here. So yeah, I think this is it for today. Where is the tag? Briefing room. In the briefing room. I'm in the briefing room. Oh. Yep, we are gonna need peak things today, but yeah. No. Right. Let me see. Yeah, just remind comms are on Whitey. There's no one in the briefing room, so I don't think I'm going to be needed in there. We have Yusuf out on his first lap in the Red Bull. We have Phoenix in the Ferrari, who won in GP2 earlier. And now there's two Ferrari cars. There's Kian moving from Renault after his incidents with Cameron in last season. He's now here in Ferrari, looking to make a shine here. We have Kai in... What car is this? That's a Honda, isn't it? Yeah. So Kai in the Honda. Heading through. We have Maguire on a lap in the Mercedes. Let's see what he can do around Barcelona. So the Latina track of that opens up the season. The number 21 Mercedes heads out of turn 4. This corner is very tricky under traction. And then as you head through turn 5, keep off that entry curve as it does spin the car. And then you head down into turn 7. Careful on the entry and power up on the exit. And then round Campsa, the second Campsa. On this track we have yellow flags for traffic management at the last corner. We have Maguire setting the benchmark second sector. But what is he going to do? Oh, I can hear myself better now. What is he? Maguire round the last corner and over the line. The benchmark from Big Up Maguire is a 116.4. And the next person over the line will be one of the Ferraris. I fear it's Phoenix. It's not. It's Kian who goes over the line and says a 113.8. So he's a second off of my pole lap in GP2 earlier on. So lap times are slower for now, but I don't think they'll be slow for the rest of this of this session. Bells says a 1:15.7. So currently nearly 2 seconds off the mark. We have a spin, and it is for Maguire. Meanwhile, a 1:12.7 from Yusuf. So Yusuf has already beaten the GP2 pole time in that number 7 Red Bull. Oh, and he nearly goes off as well, as now Phoenix in the other Ferrari goes a 10th behind his teammate in the other Ferrari. So great stuff from him. No one else, I think, is Jambo. Jambo goes up with a 1:13.0. So 3/10 off the pole time for Jambo. That's a great lap from the debutant. And there was a couple of debutants in GP2, some fared better than others, but here in Tier 1, we have a very strong debutant. We have the other one not faring so well. We have the Honda going up into P5. That is Kai DXR, the man who, if I'm not mistaken, commentated on GP2 earlier on at the race, which went from 4 p.m. to around 20 past 5 p.m. UK time. GC goes behind his Red Bull teammate and goes 600 ahead of Jambo. Incredible. I must say so myself. There's Maguire in the pits. We have Phoenix taking the old layout, having some 2015 flashbacks. The champion of Season 1, the defending champion of retro racing, currently heading into the pits, and is currently in P5 behind the Red Bulls. And what's Jambo's car? That looks like a Lotus, so I'm going to say it's a Lotus. I think there was a Lotus in GP2 who jumped the start as well. As I can't remember what the name was of that driver, but yeah, we have DXR 2 seconds off of his personal best. He's going to go for another lap. Tired. Very tired today. Anyway, we have Yusuf heading around. We have, is that Snapchick Fixer? It is. As Kian Wright retires from the session after a disconnection. So reliability issues for the internet of Kian Wright. TTV Racers. He's disconnected, and that Ferrari car is out of qualifying. So he's currently P4, but 1, there are 4 drivers who haven't even set a time yet. 2, there's a couple other drivers behind him who can definitely set faster laps. So there's round 4, Snapchick Fixer. And Snapchick Fixer, his car snapped over the curb, and there's another car who nearly spun there. I think that was potentially, that wasn't Jumbo, that might have been Maguire, I reckon. But that was a huge spin for Snapchick, who snaps to the side of the track. If that snap could talk, you could call it Snapchat. That was a huge shunt. Now that front wing needs a couple of his fixes in the garage to make it a bit better now. Over the gravel there for SCF. So the 75, it's that Williams car, I reckon. He's coming into the pits. Cameron in the Renault. He had a roller coaster of a ride in Brazil after hitting his teammate, but then coming back later on in the race to claw some positions. And then I can't remember if he fell back down the order later on after that. We have James and HF in a team that I have forgotten. Where did my phone go? There it is. Oh, I'm going to get the teams up a minute. We head through Maguire, who goes wide on the gravel, and he just keeps the car in a straight line. Keane's asking for an invite. I'll invite him in a bit, but you're retired, so I can't really, there's not really any need to rush. So I'll invite at a later stage. As Maguire hits the wall at the pit entry and completely detonates his front wing, and Cameron replaces Kian. Cameron beats his old teammate and goes up into P4 in front of Kian Wright. He's the only car on track at the moment as well, apart from the other Ferrari of Phoenix, who's going out on track at the moment. I've got to invite Kian back because of Kian needs. Needs sounds a bit strong. May as well say Kian rights. That's a great way of putting it. Kian needs rights. Terrible. Anyway, I don't have you at it. I can't see you on it, mate. I cannot see Kian on here. Unless I'm blind, which is maybe a case. But he is not there on here, so sadly I'm not able to invite him. Actually, I can invite him because I'm going to go onto his game card and do this. There we go. Right, he should be invited back now. So that's it for now. Anyway, we plough on with the session. Cameron Pitts, the man who's 2 places below him, is heading round and looking to set another lap in that Ferrari that has a bit more white on it this compared to the first season this car ran. Had a bit of yellow on it before, didn't it? But now it has white all dotted around on it. He straddles the curb on the last corner. He's probably blitzing his overtake, and he's now heading towards the first corner. Meanwhile, is that Snap Chick Fick again spinning, and this time it's coming out of the penultimate corner. That is a huge spin. Meanwhile, heading through into the first Campster corner, known as turn 4. And he's 2/10 up on his lap so far, so that'll be ahead of Kian if he can hook it up. He's got a purple sector 1. So he's the fastest man in the first sector. Will he be the fastest man all round? We will have to wait and see. We head through. So Phoenix into, and he's half a second up, and again he's purple. This man is more purple than Roland Ratzenberger's old car. He is fast around here. The number 12 Ferrari that made a name for itself last season comes out of the final corner and goes to P4, not pole, and not even into the 113 flats. He's done a 113.1 and he's gone to where his teammate was earlier on. He's gone to P4 and he still needs around half a second to be able to take that off of Kian Wright. Meanwhile, there's a car pulling over to the side there. Meanwhile, we have Bells and not Maguire, but we have Bells coming around the last corner in the McLaren. Yes, no. Oh, no, this is the Toyota car, isn't it? This is the Toyota who's back in business. He comes out of the final corner and goes nowhere. He improves his lap, but doesn't improve the position. He needs 8 more tenths to be able to beat the car in front of him, which is the Honda of Kai. Heading around the first 2 corners. So, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers who have set a time slower than Lewis's time in GP2 earlier on in the day. In qualifying, there's one of the Renaults coming out of the final corner. We're going to ride with him, heading towards turn 1. Bells looks like he's not on a lap. That was nearly enough there for Kai, but yeah, we're going to ride a ball with them with Cameron into turn 1. Takes it very fast. He doesn't use any of the curb that I would normally use, and instead he keeps the momentum on the tarmac to hurl him towards turn 3. Braking now, very aggressive, but also quite conservative as he heads on the outside of turn 4. Now into turn 5. Careful of that curb on the right-hand side of the entry. Now riding out to the outside curb on the exit. Heading into turn 7. Keep it careful on the entry and then just try and balance it out on the exit. Now round Campster. Careful of this curb, but keep as much momentum as you can. Swinging you round right-hand ways and into turn 10. Brake, then slowly introduce the throttle, slower than a snail, but carefully as well. Then keep the car in a straight way, heading out of this corner. Try not to let the car snap on you. Head round the last 2 corners. Could have used a bit more track there, but he didn't. And he's now going to hurl towards the line and set a 1:13.3. He stays in P5, but he is now closer to Phoenix than he was before. Meanwhile, Kai goes ahead of the retired car of Kian. He goes up to P6 with a 1:13.5, 2 cents slower than Cameron's car. Meanwhile, we have Snapchick Fix. Is he going to finally set a good time? He is. He's ahead of Kian as well. So Snapchick Fixer has fixed his session so far and has finally set a more representable time onto his scorecard. So yeah, that is that for now. No one else really on a lap apart from maybe Jambo. See what the Lotus does. As there's a yellow flag for Kai into turn 7. It looks like he might have maybe had an off, but heading into turn 4, the first Kamsa corner with Jambo. The second Kamsa corner being turn 9. I'm not too sure why they're called Kamsa corners, but not too sure why it's turn 4 and turn 9 that are Kamsa corners, but hey ho. Head through turn 7 and 8, and he goes wide. That'll lose him a bit of time when he backs out. Jambo looked like he had a bit of a tango on the exit there. He looked like he was slipping on tango. But nonetheless, he crawls to turn 10 and abandons the lap. So the only 2 cars to not come out are the Benetton cars. We have the Snapchick Fixer. Looks like he's going for another lap, so we're going to stay with Snapchicks. We've also got GC on a lap, but currently a 10th down, so that may not add to anything in the end. As Maguire has to leave the session, so the Mercedes of Maguire is out of this qualifying and the race due to having to be somewhere else for a few hours. He wishes everyone else good luck. James saying that he'll miss him in the Benetton. Those 2 are lovers. Anyway, GC goes over the line and he goes 400s behind his teammate. The Red Bulls might need some multi-21 intervention because that is incredibly close to each other. Jambo improving, but he's heading down into turn 7 and 8, and he keeps it in a straight line. Congratulations. Oh, but he goes wide, and maybe I cheered too soon, because he's gone right off at turn 9 and straddled the curb and the gravel, and he's now back the curb. That may cost him time as he heads round the last 2 corners through the recent sweeper and into the final corner. What is Jambo gonna do? He's gonna go over the line and not improve on his time. That is a shame. Meanwhile, Cameron, will he improve? He's improving as we speak. We head over the line, and he does. He goes ahead of Jambo by 0.04 of a second. As someone else just went over the line. I'm not too sure who that is. That was Bells, who went up to somewhere else. I think it was 9th. Yeah, it was. So P9 for Bells. Oh no, it's Bellis. That's okay. Gonna get used to that then. As Jambo has left the session, that is your qualifying order. 36,000 separating the top 2, 400 separating 3rd and 4th, and then a whole range of gaps separating the other few. But something interesting to note is that the only 2 people to beat the GP2 time the GP2 pole time were the Red Bulls. So that is mental stuff, I must say so myself. As I know I can't really stop it, so I'm just gonna hook it up on the recording. So yeah, I'm just gonna hook it up on the recording because I know it's delayed, but I can't really do anything about it. I would record, but that like it would take up way too much space on my PC otherwise. So yeah, I'll just have to edit it together. That's all. Well, I did soft, soft, medium. I did soft, hard, and then just died. That's oh, it's a three-part qualifying. What's the point in that? It's okay. As round for HF and James. So that explains why the Benettons didn't do anything in qualifying, because it's a three-part qualifying. Okay, Ollie, we need to talk. Anyway, Ollie, who told Ollie Behrman to do this 8-7 trendy thing? That they should be fired. Anyway, we head through then in Q2. I haven't seen a safety car yet, which does break tradition of retro racing. We're gonna stay with